like we always think of like, how can you be the best? You know, like I want to be the best out of like all these like the top like, you know, directors or artists or whatever. But when you really think about it, a lot of that is subjective at the end of the day, right? Like your favorite movie is not going to be my favorite movie. You know, it's always going to be different from anyone. But I thought of this. It's like you could be somebody's favorite.
Ooh.
Right?
Dude.
You could. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like if you take inspiration from someone else, but you do it this way, like your way, someone could love that. You know?
Yeah.
It kind of puts like less stress on me, you know? Not everyone loves the top thing on the chart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's proven. You know what I mean? People love a random movie from like a random old French film. You know what I mean? And that's their favorite. It's like, yeah, it's possible. You know?
For sure.
It's kind of that's in a way inspiring to me. You know?
That's totally. I think you should like tattoo that on your freaking body, dude. That's such a healthy thought.
Welcome to the Your Podcast. This is episode 206 of the podcast. Shout out Anytown Actors Lab if you're looking to learn acting, if you're a little rusty or you just want to figure out what it's all about. AnytownActorsLab.com, that's your place. There's a free consultation. There's online classes, there's in-person classes in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area. The teacher, Adam Louder, he's experienced. He's been doing it for a long time. He's super passionate about filmmaking, and it's the right place to go if you're looking to, get into the craft of it, the deep, the gritty. AnytownActorsLab.com. Shout out to the patrons, patreon.com/YouAreHerePodcast. We are on Patreon. It's just the best way to support us. It's as low as, a coffee, If you like what we do, then yeah, spread the holiday cheer. It's it's after the holidays, but still spread a little cheer. No big deal. We're also on Twitch, twitch.tv/YouAreHerePodcast. We're playing games. We're live. I put in like a solid 30 hours last week, so that was nice. But yeah, we have fun every Monday, Tuesday. It's a good time. Stop by. Twitch.tv/YouAreHerePodcast. And we're back, dude. We are back post holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dave,
Yes.
You know what? I want to start with a question.
Yeah. Well, can we give a little backstory first before we hit that? Okay.
Because we run off I'm going to make up a saying. We run off the base of our core.
Okay.
That could be some huge quote in the future. We run off the base of our core.
We run off the base of our core.
Yes. And my question for you is, at this point of life, after this many rotations on the sun, what makes you feel alive?
Oh man. I love making projects, like being creative. It makes me really excited. I love getting to know new people. New people make me excited, man. New people and old people talking about new things, like sharing new things.
Yeah.
Like people I know, getting closer to them, and then opening up a whole new lane of like humanity we never opened up before. So that gets me psyched. Oh man, learning new things, like just picking up like a hobby or a craft or something that excites me.
Yeah.
I like doing shit I never do, like fish or like something out the beaten path. Like, we're gonna go to whitewater rafting like on Thursday. Like that would be exciting. You know what I mean?
my first time. Isn't it cool that we like? I think that there's enough stuff out there that it's impossible to do everything. So we literally have infinite new experiences.
Totally agree.
Right? Because things are going to keep changing. It's like, isn't that cool that you can do something different if you really want?
Yeah, I totally agree, dude. I'm reading this book now. I'm listening to a book on Audible called The Midnight Library.
Oh.
And it's about that. It's about the parallel universe theory. About like there's an infinite number of lives where you choose a thing and your life goes total. Like there's a life where it's simultaneously happening right now that Mike Nowicki ate his chapstick instead of put it on his lips right now. And then because he did that, a new thing happens and his life is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, I don't know. It's an unbelievable theory, but it's like, I think scientifically like proven or something. Like there would be an infinite number of choices to make. So your life would be infinitely different an infinite amount of times and an infinite amount of ways.
Is that book making you like stressed out, or is it doing it in a way where it's not? Because that's, when you think about it a little bit, it's a little bit overwhelming, man.
It is, man. It's like spoiler alert a little, but like the protagonist, like she offs herself. So she's goes to this place called the Midnight Library. And it's like the spot where she didn't want to have the life she had. So she gets a chance to live all these different lives, like these infinite amount of lives, and see where she could fit. If there's a life she could plug into, you know what I mean? And like live out the rest of her life. And so like, it is stressful to think about. Cause it's like, I don't know. Like, what would life be like if I was a historian? I love history.
Yeah.
I wonder what I'd be like. You know what I mean? I wonder what would be different. Like, would I be married to my wife? Would I live in Nutley? Like, would I have this little tree over here? Would I have my puppy here? Would we be friends? Like,
yeah.
You know, who would I know? Who wouldn't I know? Would I be healthy? Would I be sick? Like, it's stressful to think about, I think, too much, but it's also hopeful, right? Like, Mike, check it out. What do you think about this quote? Because I heard this today. Okay. So like, I was talking about loneliness and being alone, and like how those are different things. Like loneliness is like despair. Like loneliness is like you have a deep sinking feeling of being disconnected from anyone, and we're kind of obviously made to connect. And so loneliness is that, but being alone is something that could be healthy. Being alone is like, I'm physically alone right now in this room. You know, we're together on this thing, but I'm physically alone here. If I was let's say I was just alone here, we weren't doing the podcast, and I was just in my head. I want to get to a place of being alone in a healthy place where like alone doesn't mean lonely. Alone means like healthy in my thoughts. Yeah. Thoughts that I have healthy tools. I look at things in a healthy way, but I'm alone. Yeah. It's good to be alone, I think. It's healthy to be alone. But loneliness is different. And then this is what I wanted to bring up to you. How the book was talking about depression. It was saying how like depression, the soil of like depression, like the fertile soil that has to be there is like that feeling of desperation, of like you go into a basement, right? You walk down this basement and you're afraid. It starts with fear. So you're afraid the door's going to close. Yeah. Walking in this basement, you're afraid, like, I might not be able to get back out of here. So it starts there, and then it leads to despair, which is someone you don't know locks the door, closes it and locks it, and now you're stuck. And that's where depression like breeds. Like, I feel terrible, and I don't see a way out. Yeah, there's no way out. I don't have any with infinite anymore. So like, there's no option for me. I'm stuck behind this door. Yep. And that's why I think when I heard it, I was like, whoa, but I wanted to know what you thought about that. I mean, dude, that's funny because this past weekend, it was New Year's, right? And you expect, everyone to be out doing stuff, having plans, having all this stuff going on. It's first year without my family. First year where I just got sick like crazy. And I just stayed home. I tried going out to some friends, but I ended up going back home, not even staying out. And yeah, I did get those feelings of like, I was here alone for the past, like I took off from work today and yesterday because I was just that sick. And I'm thankfully feeling better today. But dude, I'd be lying if there weren't some times where I'm sitting there and I'm laying in bed and I'm dying. There's like, I got no one. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm a little bit lonely, dude. Like I like, wouldn't it be cool if I had like someone, and then like, that makes you start thinking about, I'm slowly getting into that. Like you were saying, the desperation starts, inching on
to my brain, and then I feel myself slowly going into that little despair zone, right? And that door could close, and I could be there, the whole day or that whole weekend. But I was able to, I called my family or whatever, and I'm able to bring myself out of that. But it's interesting the way, because I think what I think about when you talk about that is you could set up your life so that that you can set up your life to not to prevent those, those pits of falling into desperation, like if you're you could surround yourself with a lot of good people, and maybe you do, but everyone has a life, but I think the ultimate thing is if you have the closest thing you could have that you're living day to day is a partner, right? Like someone that's always there with you, you know what I mean? But if you don't have that, it's kind of tough to, you know what I mean? If you're alone really, and there's not a lot of people available, then you're kind of on your own,
Yeah.
But I had my friends they reached out, they sent me food today, you know what I mean? There's a lot of love out there if you don't look at it, and it comes up randomly, you know what I mean? Which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm I don't know where I went with that, but yeah, I definitely I felt that,
Yeah.
It's interesting. It makes me start thinking of oh, what if I it made me start going, and I had crazy headaches and everything. I was oh dude, what if I everything worked out with my first girlfriend, and I'd have a person here, and I'm dude, what am I thinking about?
Yeah.
Your mind will go anywhere just to give a reason to it,
Right.
But the truth is you're sick, and this is the circumstance, and this is it.
Yeah.
This is the reality you got to live in, and you can think about all the things that would have happened, but it's not going to do anything right now. And that
really
and luckily I'm able to see that, because I know for a lot of people, when they get into that, they can't see a light or something they can grab onto. I think it's at least the tool I've worked on to be able to grab onto that and pull myself out of it, so I'm thankful for that.
That's awesome, man. Well, I mean, it sucks that you were feeling that way, but it's awesome that you had the awareness and the tool now to pull yourself out of it.
Dude, even this, it feels nice to just talk to someone through I want to say face to face, but it's still on Zoom,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, I miss you. Just seeing your face again is making me have this warm feeling of missing you.
Yeah. And then I hear about Euro with Adam and Katie on a drum. Oh man, come on.
I know.
I wish we could have done something, man. But
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I do miss you. I missed you on the.
Dude, you too, man. You too.
No, but it's good. It's good to see you, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're not stuck in that place. But it's interesting. If we could talk about it a little more.
Yeah.
If you're cool with it, how it, because I think it's interesting what you said. You feel stuck, the door closed, you feel alone. That not alone, alone but lonely. That's a different thing. And
yeah.
Your brain starts running, and it's if I could get there, if I did that, then maybe I wouldn't be here. Maybe I could do this instead next time, or whatever. Instead of just it's survival, I guess, right? Is that what your brain's doing? It's trying to create a world where you have hope, you have a possibility of being not alone, not lonely, but with people, with the partner, with just a hopeful outlook, whatever that looks like to you. You know what I mean? Your brain is constantly trying, I guess, to create hopeful outcomes so that it could walk that way and not be in this stuck, closed, we're talking about, a basement where there's no hope, where there's no light. It's just interesting, man. It's interesting how the brain works and how you get to depression. Because, like we said last week, dude, and I thought about it, how we both said I don't feel depressed. That's not me.
Yeah.
But it's you're 100% capable, if you're human, to feel depressed, and you're a human.
Yeah, definitely. It's something, scary. That recently I've definitely come to know. Yeah. Or at least be able to identify it, because you're not really told how it, in what forms it comes,
Yeah, for
until
sure.
you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. It is. It's very interesting. Is there something that you learned from it? you said you learned about the tool, like you're pulling yourself out of it. Like, and you said, was it a phone call? Like picking up the phone, calling people, and like what was it for you? What was the tool that like created the hopeful like launching point? You know what I mean? Like, usually it's like a physical change, like you do something.
Yeah. I think it was a lot of like I saw my family overseas was sending me like pictures of stuff, and I was kind of just like messaging and you know, and like not really like I could just like pick up and call, you know, but I'm just like sitting there like not even trying to like send a message. Like I should just call them if I am feeling that. But they ended up like calling me, and then like I got up and I'm like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It kind of like switched me out of it, you know, which is cool. Right. Same with my brother called me, was checking up on me. So yeah, it's interesting that it's like could we, I'm sure there's a way that we could make it so we could pull ourselves out of it, like, and not have to rely on other, but I feel like that's kind of, you know, part of life is the people you meet along the way. They're there for you, you know, in those times, and we're able to help each other with that, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe we don't, maybe, because I did feel like I was being almost like I'm a burden, you know? I'm like, I'm sick. Like, I'm sitting here in bed, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything, you know? Like, everyone else is, you know, they got plans. They're doing stuff. They're busy, you know? I don't want to bother them with my, you know, I'm sitting in my room in the dark for like 3 days. But, yeah, I think that's what people are there for, you know?
Yeah, man.
To in those moments, you always like, you know, you end up, you know, saying something like last time for Thanksgiving, you gave me like a plate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of food.
Too.
Yeah. It's honestly, yeah, I hated this past like whole month. It was so, with work, it was busy. Like every holiday, it was like I was sick. And then right before New Year's, I get sick, and I'm like, man, like I haven't been sick in 2 years, you know? It's just a pain. Just a pain, man. I hated it.
It was some like power surge of germs.
Dude, I'm telling you, everyone I know is sick or has something. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm surprised you were sick too, right?
3 weeks ago, I was like deadly sick.
It started from you.
But now hold on. I think it wasn't me. I think it was work.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but when you're physically ill too, it's like easy to think those negative thoughts and just be like bummed out.
Yeah.
You know? But it feels good when you're like healthy.
You know what I did to kind of pull me out of it? Because when I'm sitting there, especially like I've been having this like crisis thing of like being like using my time right, or like I don't know, like what should I be doing? Like is it bad if I'm doing like if I'm enjoying life or more than like, you know, working on life, you know what I mean? Like what's more important is should it be a certain way? And I like was thinking about that while laying in bed for like hours, and then I'm like, you know what? Like let me cook some like dinner or lunch or something. So I went out, got some groceries, you know, masked up. I bought a bunch of stuff. I made I made a French onion soup, like a big pot of it. Did that.
I'll come out of 10. What would you rate it?
What was that?
Out of 10, what would you rate it?
I'd give it like a 7.
Okay.
Dude, you know what? I want people to get into cooking because it's fun, it's challenging, it's rewarding. Yes. And my favorite thing is pick like one meal and like try to perfect it. Do it like multiple times. This is what me and my brother do. We were talking about it, about how we want to like keep doing like pick one dish, do it like every other week. Because the first one's going to be, you might get lucky. You get a 7 out of 10. You know, I've been cooking my whole life. So like, I know how to cook at least.
That's the first time you made it?
Yeah. From scratch.
Oh, wow.
But next time, you know, it'll be an 8, and then it'll be a 9, and it'll be a 10, and then it's perfect, you know? And I got a couple like meals that are really like, if I want to invite Dave over, you know, make some food. You know what I mean?
Come on. And that's my favorite soup.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Davey Danger's favorite soup.
Hell yeah. But
I'm excited.
Yeah, if you guys are, I know New Year's resolutions are going around, so learn to cook. Because not enough people know how to cook.
That's a good one. I was going to ask you, and I guess this is that part of that answer. Like, what are you looking to find in 2023, dude?
Dude, honestly, I want to figure out some things, man.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get into this because I was kind of questioning it over this weekend. What is your relationship with like consumption of like media with also like, let's say you're an actor, right?
Yeah.
Or you're a filmmaker. Now, a lot of like, especially like artists or like creative people, a lot of people like to not like watch or consume a lot of what they're making. But my thing is, I love consuming what I make.
Right.
You know, and I want to like figure out if that's what's like an obstacle maybe for me.
Okay.
If that's maybe something that's like pulling me back from, like, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, do you think it's a hindrance in some way, or do you think it's for certain people that works, you know, differently? Because I know, like, think of like all the greats. I'm sure. I mean, I know a lot of people. I think like Tarantino loves movies and stuff. You know, he's super critical on movies. But I also hear a lot of people that, especially for music and stuff, it's like a lot of those people do not listen to anyone else. They just make their thing and they're, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if my consumption is clouding my creation.
Wow. Whoa.
Which I have my own ideas already about that, because I feel like I'm still able to come up with like very things that I feel are very me and like original still. Yeah. I think like everything's inspired, right?
Yeah.
From something. Even if it's a personal experience. I still think it's you know, inspired. I don't think it takes away anything having an inspiration.
I got a few thoughts on that, bro.
What do you think?
And you said that because over the trip, a little trip to Vermont with my buddies, with our buddies, we watched like 6 movies. I ended up watching 6 different. I watched Fabelmans, watched a bunch of other movies.
Oh, you watched Fabelmans?
Watched Fabelmans.
Oh, what'd you think?
To be honest.
Yeah, to be honest,
totally
dude.
It surprised me that for Steven Spielberg, it was. I thought there was a lack of writing quality. I thought there was a lack of specificity and artistic choice in each and just reality in each choice. And I don't know if that was a choice for Spielberg or not, but it kind of pulled me out of it throughout the thing. A little bit of cheese balliness that wasn't. Maybe it was meant, but it just went over my head. It wasn't like something I was.
No, I feel after I was watching some video essay stuff. I was like, yeah, there's a couple stuff that's very doesn't really aid to the story much.
No, yeah, it was very silly, and I wasn't too impressed by that. But I was like, I guess what we were all doing, it was it was me and Adam and Jim and Haley and Katie and my wife, and we were looking at 5 out of 6 of us are filmmakers, artists, actors, trying to figure out what we're going to do. And so we did. We went. I guess while we were together, we were all excited. We were like, let's do some research. Let's look at what's out there today. What movies came out that we can look at. And we can be like, oh shit, this is the direction things are moving in. Or were you inspired by a filmmaker? And we were just looking for inspiration. I guess being around each other. And we saw a couple movies, man. Where we were like, yo, this director out in I don't know from where, what his name was, Otzland or something, and he made this film called Triangle of Sadness. Yeah, it's like this satire, and it's like I thought I'd hate it, and it was
I heard it was good,
awesome. I watched that. We watched this movie Pearl.
With the I want to see that.
Mia Goth's in it, and it's Ty West is the writer, and Mia Goth wrote it with him. Made it for $1 million or something like that, and they're just killing it now. And
wait, really?
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. They did it. It was like a do-it-yourself kind of thing. I mean, they had, I guess, some help, obviously, but they used a lot of their own money to get the thing going, and so they own most of it. And now it's killed it at the box, selling it on sale overseas and all that.
Really?
And it was artistically solid for the type of film it was, the genre.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was artistic and it pushing a boundary, but also like good acting and good writing, and you believed it, even though it was kind of everything was turned up a little bit. Like it was so believable, and like you bought it, you know?
Yeah.
And a sad, like Triangle of Sadness, you're like, you know, I know this is supposed to be over the top and silly, but it's like I'm still with all these characters as they all matter. Like it was very well done, very artistically well done, very well written. Each character well written. Every setup like led to the next setup. Like this happened, so then that means this has to happen, and then this to get the inevitable ending of the film, and it all makes sense coming together. And I was really inspired. So to answer the question, I guess, man, like I think I haven't watched a lot of films recently until this trip, and it reminded me that I should, because it's inspiring, or it's like you're researching and you're studying a thing, you're going to be influenced here and there for sure. But I think if your intention is to be inspired, it doesn't mean you're getting away from who you are. If you're still like on top of who you are, if you're still journaling or taking a walk here and there, or like asking yourself questions, doing podcasts, and like seeing where you're at in life today, like spending time alone, healthy time alone, and figuring out what excites you, or what's breaking your heart right now, or what's a story you want to tell, what's a song you want to tell. And songs are stories too. Songs are stories. Songs are the same. It's the same thing. It's like I have this intention in my heart, something I need to share, or I just need to make and get out there and create. It's the same thing. It's just like, where am I at today that I can't like sleep? It's just in me. I need to get it out. I need to express it through whatever I can do. But another thing was Adam brought me this hard drive, dude, and he's like, here's the film. So I had all the footage. Dang. We threw some of it up. We were looking through all the footage, and I used to, like, I just hated. I hated seeing anything I was in.
Really?
Hated. Yes, and I like thought about it a lot the last couple of days. And I was able to sit there and watch it, and it felt like I felt emotionally full and grateful, and zero. How do I look? Do I look like ugly? Do I look fat? Do I look skinny? I was just like not looking at myself in that way anymore. And I was able to watch the footage, and that's why. Because I think my ego finally, for what I did with this specific story, was like out of the equation. It's no longer like tied up in how people see me when I do this expression. It's now about the expression. Yeah. And I'm just a part of the whole, like everyone is in it. In the, you know, I'm just as, you know, I'm this part of it. I'm not the whole thing. It's not all about me. I watch the footage now. You know what I mean? Like it was really interesting, man, to see that growth. I was like proud of myself, to be honest.
Hell yeah, man. So you really like you realize the realization of like your part in the whole thing, you know, and you're being able to be like, all right, this was my only thing. It doesn't matter about the story. Isn't like, it's not about, you know, it's not looking for chiseled up, you know, Dave like guy. You know what I mean? It's the character.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, how's this gonna make people look at me? Like, who's gonna advance my career? How's this gonna make people like me more? I gave that shit up, and I guess with it, I can now feel comfortable seeing myself on the screen. And I was like, I was impressed, man, that I wasn't able to I wasn't like falling into the trap of, oh no, what do I look like? What do I sound like? Oh my God, we can't do this.
It's a little freedom in it.
Total freedom. So I was proud of myself for that. Man. But goes back to intention. But I guess to answer that question, dude, like, I think, what do you think? How about that? What do you think? That's what I did. What do you think about consumption of media, consumption of the thing that you love doing because you love consuming the thing you do? But now you're questioning, is that right or wrong? How do you feel about it?
I believe that most of the things in the world are created out of love. You know? Whether you could say like, you know, survival, right? Which is for yourself, but then it becomes survival for, once you get to a certain point, it becomes survival of, you know, your brother or your tribe or your family, right? And that's love. You want them to, you know, be with you, you know, and to grow and get through everything. So I think, you know, I think if you benefit, like, I think inspiration, and if you really love something, like a certain move or something gets you into filmmaking, you know, I think what I liked about The Fabelman so much is that spark of, like, when you first start getting to filmmaking was so, like, it's how he portrays it. It's like magical. It's literally like he zooms into the train, and it's like it get this whole like little like dream sequence, you know. It's like that's kind of how it feels, you know. Like back in the day when I was doing, you know, like finally recording stuff, and then I edit together, and I press play, and I'm like, oh, dude, like made a little story, you know. It was cool. But I think like definitely the things I love in the world, you know, like music, movies, all that stuff is created from, you know, a very personal place and out of love, because they want to they want to put something out there. Right. Whether, you know, some stuff is dedicated to people, some stuff is, you know, maybe like a hand reached out for love or attention or something, you know. And I don't think that, I think that can only help, you know. Unless you're like copying stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like inspiration is I think it really does inspire, you know, like it spreads to a lot of different things, you know? I think it's just, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And then you start thinking of like, yeah, but there's those people that are copycats and they want to, like we always think of like, how can you be the best? You know, like I want to be the best out of like all these, like the top, like, you know, directors or artists or whatever. But when you really think about it, a lot of that is subjective at the end of the day, right? Like your favorite movie is not going to be my favorite movie. You know, it's always going to be different from anyone. But I thought of this. It's like you could be somebody's favorite.
Ooh.
Right?
Dude.
You could. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like if you take inspiration from someone else, but you do it this way, like your way, someone could love that, you know? Yeah. It kind of puts like less stress on me, you know? Yeah. Where I'm like, oh, it has to be this perfect, like it has to be, you know, I'm taking like, I don't know, like I'm comparing it to, once you start comparing things to like the best, you're like, oh fuck, I don't know. But if you think like, dude, maybe someone just really loves your shit, and that could be like a family member, you know, and that's fucking cool, you know, if it's their favorite thing, you know, because they have a special connection to it. That's cool, you know. I think that drives me a little bit to be like, oh, like there are people out there that they're not everyone loves the top thing on the chart. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's proven. You know what I mean? People love a random movie from like a random old French film. You know what I mean? And that's their favorite. It's like a lot of, you know, it's possible. You know,
for sure.
It's kind of that's in a way inspiring to me. You know,
that's totally. I think you should like tattoo that on your freaking body, dude. That's such a healthy thought. Like that's something you should journal about more. That's a beautiful. Purpose. That's a beautiful artistic or just living purpose, to be like, if I'm going to work and I'm going to express a thing, let's say an art form, not everyone's going to like it. Maybe everyone hates it, but not everyone.
It's guaranteed people are going to like and hate.
Yeah, but like maybe you are one person's favorite. And like, that's really cool.
Yeah. Dude, there's literally like, have you ever watched the Dodo? Like they like fix animals that are like off the street. People dislike those videos, dude. All right. So that just tells you there's people out there.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what you do, that's happen. And I think that's a very healthy day-to-day thought you should be reminding yourself of every day.
Yeah. Because I do think that, especially younger people, when I first started getting into stuff, is I was like, I gotta be the best, you know. I gotta, you know, soar past all these people. Like I'm different. I'm whatever, blah blah blah. But it's tough to like, you're never gonna reach the best because it's not possible. I don't think.
Not possible.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's cool to change that to, you could be someone's favorite,
I think that's like, now you're thinking in realistic terms. You're not thinking in fantasy terms.
And it still sounds dope.
And I think it sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I agree.
You ever hear the saying, I think I said it to you before, the truth has a different ring to it. When you hear something that's the truth, when someone says something, you say something, it's like, oh, wait a second, like that just did something to me. I just heard that in a very clear way. When you said that, it totally registered in my heart as like, that sounded like the truth in some natural, like divine way. That as like how life should go. That sounded very true to me. If you're especially if you're an artist, you're making a thing, or if you're making pies and that's your job, or if you're making phone calls to people for your company or something, like you could be someone's favorite. Not everyone's favorite. Not everyone's gonna love you, but like maybe someone will be. Maybe you could be one person's favorite.
Yeah, and
that's really cool. It's so cool. Like, wow, I never thought of that.
Dude, maybe I should get sick more often, man.
I know, dude. You're having those flu thoughts. Like those beautiful flu dudes. Yeah. I remember we were talking about a couple weeks ago, like, doing it for the one. Do the thing for the one.
Yeah.
And I think I too to you around that time, but like there was this college football player. He was from Hawaii and he was Mormon and he was playing at USC. And he was Notre Dame. He was playing at Notre Dame. His name's Manti Te'o, and he's this like beautiful looking, like the whole first the college loved him. He was this incredible middle linebacker, and then his senior year came around and he became like a star, like a freaking all-star. The whole world knew about him. He took his college, college it's not a fringe school, but it's never in the playoffs. It's never like going for the big championship, and he brought him to it. And before the game, it comes out in the media that this guy had been talking to his girlfriend, never met her, but was only speaking to her online for like years, right? Had a girlfriend for years online, and then, finds out her grandmother died before the game. So it comes out as a story. Manti Te'o, he's still playing the game, even though his girlfriend's grandmother just died, and it's so sad. And he's still out there, and he's doing this thing. And the next thing, the next week, a story comes out. He's been catfished. He was talking to some guy the whole time, and they thought it was like he was in on the catfishing because it was a story that made him look like a hero and all this shit. And so all of the people that loved Manti Te'o, this is before catfish was a thing. This is when Twitter was really popping. Like everybody turned on him, like the media,
Really?
People, popular opinion. Everyone just started ripping him and turning them into memes. That's when memes was huge. Just started being a thing, and calling him homosexual, calling him like as a dig, and like just ripping on him, making fun of him. Oh, catfish this, catfish that. And he did this documentary. And so I watched it. And at the end of the documentary, he's talking about this. He's like, man, I've been here. I've been at the tippy top of like feeling nothing but love everywhere I go from everyone. I'm everyone's favorite. He's everyone's favorite. He's Manti Te'o. I went from there to in like a day, everyone hates me. And for years, he's been made fun of. For years, he's been ridiculed. It's still where places he goes. And so, like, how could you not know, man? So how could you not know you were talking to a guy? How could you not know you didn't have your girlfriend wasn't even your girlfriend? It was just some dude, different voices, like, and nobody believed him. And at the end of the documentary, he says, like, I've been up here and then I went down here and now he goes, it hurt really bad. He said, I was in this terrible place, and he's a religious guy, so he would go to God with it. But he said, he goes, I'm doing this right now because of the one. He said, because I'm not going to be what you're saying. Like, people are going to make fun of me. People are going to laugh at me. They're going to curse at me, whatever. They're going to rip me apart. He goes, but there's still going to be one kid that looked at me and said, like, you're important to me. And so I do it for that one kid. And that was like so, I was crying my eyes out, man.
Wow.
Because there's truth to it. It's like what you just said. It was like, you can make a song tomorrow and put it out there, Mike, and like nobody could listen but like 20 people. And then like 19 of them are like, this is bullshit. But one kid could be like, it got me out of bed this morning. That made me excited to like talk to my friends. And like in school, I was like, it was rattling around in my head. And like, you don't know. You just don't know. So I think that you're on to something, man.
Yeah.
You're on to something. I'm excited to see what you do this year, man.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
Very excited.
Do you have any things you want to work on this year? What's your what are you thinking about?
Want to find my voice, Mike. That was the thing I was thinking about. I want to find my voice. I want to make sure I learn a lot more things, and I also want to make sure, like, if I'm in a situation that's uncomfortable, I call it out, and I'm not afraid of the consequences, or I stand up for myself.
Yeah.
I use my voice in that way to defend myself and empower myself, and I feel like I quiet myself a lot for the sake of others because I don't want to upset them, or I don't want to make the room uncomfortable. I worry about the future. I don't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
Very analytical, you know? So like in the moment, if I know I know something's up or I sense something's up, I want to be able to speak on it. And I want to just find my voice. I want to trust my voice and strengthen my voice. And I think your voice is way, it's a tool that you should use in your life to take care of yourself and like defend your life and also like empower your life and also like, I don't know, I like spreading happiness with my voice. I like spreading hope with my voice, but I don't like defending myself with my voice. I don't like defending people I love with my voice. I like doing this. You know, I like getting in your face and just like looking at you like I'm crazy, but I don't like know how to use my words well. So I want to find that. I want to find how to respectfully, but like honestly, speak up when I see something wrong. Yeah. Speak up when I see I'm being treaded on in some kind of way.
Dude, that is one really, that's a tough thing. And you know what's funny too is like there's so many people that just comes like naturally to them, and it bothers me, dude, because I care too much sometimes. Like I think your wife's like that, like Lena, like she'll say something right out, you know, and that's the best. It's great.
And then you look around and you're like,
and it's great, but for people like us, it's the worst.
Dude, it's rough. It's rough. But it's also like I look at her and I look at her life and I'm like, yeah, she knows she's got her voice. Yeah. No one's gonna tell her she doesn't deserve a thing, or if she's hurt by something, she's gonna call it out. And the cool thing is I've seen her do it. And like it's never as bad as I think it's gonna go. And if it is, it's like that wasn't meant to be anyway. She called it out because something was sick. Yeah. Something was wrong. You know what I mean? It wasn't. And where I'll swallow it, I'll just pretend like it's nothing, or I'll let it bother me, and I'll lash out somewhere else. Like she call it out, and she'll call out a real thing. She'll call out a real injustice, and she'll try to fix it, or she'll try to find out what's going on, or she'll try to find a cure for it. But she's defending her. She's respecting herself, dude. Yeah. That's so cool, man. Like I just want to respect myself more with my voice. That tool. I was given that tool. You were given that tool. But like us, I feel like I'm like you, Mike. Yeah. I'm like you, bro. You know where I think that kind of comes from? What's that? I think it kind of comes from that feeling of, I don't know if you felt this. I feel like we have a similar vibe with this. It's back in the day. To be loved, we would give, you know, we would give a lot of ourselves, a lot more than maybe we're comfortable with, but it's okay because we can handle it. We're good, man, you know. But once it came down to us like wanting to get something back in return, it's not how it works. You don't just like ask and get, you know, like it just happens, or you gotta
stand your ground. And we, from giving all the time, we didn't even learn how to like stand up, you know?
Totally.
And
Absolutely.
I think it comes from that, dude. And it's the toughest thing. Like there's how many times can you count where you were sitting quiet when you wanted to say something or do something?
Too often, Mike.
Yeah. I do feel that it is changing. I think for both of us, you know?
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So we got to just keep trekking on that.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for doing it. I'm proud of myself for doing it too.
Thank you.
And we're just going to keep going, dude. I love that.
I'm proud of you too. And since we're in the spirit of the new year and what we're taking in, all that, I want to reiterate, because I've been doing this too, and this is part of my voice, finding my voice again. Because I feel like, Mike, honestly, it's exactly what you said, dude, is what my problem is and like where it comes from. And I think that I was good with even expressing beautiful things, even expressing when I see something beautiful happen. And I think I got away from that even towards the end of the year. And I think it was because I was prepping for that story, and I kind of got lost a bit in my process, and I kind of turned cold. I kind of turned a little. I've noticed I've turned a little muted, and I think that's why I've been feeling depressed. I haven't been expressing a thing when I see it as beautiful, and it makes me not see shit beautiful no more, and I don't look for it no more. So looking back on just my life and what I'm grateful for, because I had to start asking myself, what am I grateful for? I have to start there. I know it sounds silly, but I think I've been struggling a little bit towards the back half of the year.
Yeah.
And finding my voice, even in a positive way. And I'm looking at what I'm grateful for. And I'm grateful for, like, just hearing you, like right now. Like hearing you talk about the thing you analyze about your childhood, and that's why you're at where you're at with finding your voice, and how we're similar in that kind of way, and how we have a friendship. I'm grateful for our friendship.
Me too, man.
I could like look you in the eye and say, like, I'm very grateful for what we have, and it's not for the show. It's really not. I don't say it enough to you that this is one of the best friendships I've ever had in my life.
Me too, man.
Easily.
Me too.
Far and away. And you don't expect anything from me. You never ask anything from me. And you're just a really giving person, but, you know, honest with me and able to change, and we're adapting and evolving together and sharing together. Like, it's very rare that I don't think I'll have these kind of friendships many times more in my life. I don't think it's going to happen this way again. And it's just cool, man. I wanted to use my voice to express my love and my gratitude for you as a human being and as a friend, man.
Dang, I appreciate that, man. Dude, I think you're good at like expressing all those things. You're good at saying it all. Yeah. And I feel the same way, man. Like, I feel like it's so funny because I feel like I feel like we didn't really try.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think I don't ever remembering being like, oh, like me and Dave, I gotta, try to be this guy's friend. You know what I mean? Like, I really gotta put myself like out. I just feel like it just felt so like naturally we figured something we want to do. We gave it a try. We both enjoyed doing it, and then it just grew from there, you know? And that's, I think, the biggest gift, you know? Is it just came so naturally, and it was just fun, dude. Like, there's not a lot of time. I don't think I remember a time where it wasn't fun when we were like both together or doing something, you know? Yeah. And I can't say that for like a lot of things in life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's always been that way for me too, man.
Yeah, dude.
But it's cool. It's cool to like find out why something's meaningful to you.
Yeah.
And I was like taking stock of like, why is our friendship meaningful to me? And like, you know, it's cool. It's cool to see why you mean what you mean to me as a friend.
Yeah.
And like, it just feels like family to me. It just feels, I don't have brother. It feels like to me what a brother would be. So it's very cool. Like a little brother.
Dude, I know you always wanted a brother, so I'm glad I could fill that.
Hey, thanks. My little Polish brother.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I have another question for you.
Let's do it.
Because we were talking about the things that you're looking for in 2023, right? You're looking to acquire. And now I want to reverse it. I want to say, what are you leaving in 2022?
What are we leaving? Definitely leaving not sticking up for myself. Definitely. What was the thing I said in the beginning? What did I say in the beginning? Riding from the center of my core or whatever.
Center of your core, riding from the center of your core.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. I feel like I went through a lot of things this year, and I want to definitely keep doing that. Definitely that of sticking up for myself, being able to if I feel something I don't want to do. I'm already 26, man. I can say it. I don't feel good, you know. I wanna express my feelings better, like that, you know. Yeah. So I'm leaving Quiet Mike in the past.
Oh, I love that.
Quiet Mike is done. All right. Mike's always gonna be a little mysterious. All right. Mike's the dark dabbling never stops. All right. I don't think I could switch sides. It's like Star Wars. Come to. I'm not gonna try to convert you either, dude. I'm not gonna try to bring you to the dark side. But yeah, I want to leave that in the past. I want to, you know, I want to be able to. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what I would leave back. That's a tough question, dude. I like that. I got to think about that more. What do I want to leave back? I didn't really think about those things.
Leave back Final Fantasy.
Oh, I don't know if we could do that.
Oh, sorry. I'm a kid.
I want to get to something with that.
Okay, sure.
But let's answer this first.
Okay.
Quiet Mike, we're leaving him back.
I love this.
I want to leave back also perfectionist Mike in terms of creating things. I want to be able to really focus. I want ambitious Mike to move on. I don't want to stay back. I think there's a lot of things I want to do instead of like, you know, changing maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to be more ambitious. I want to put more work in. In my passions, the things I really want to do. I want to learn. I want to actually put in the time. I started a lot of stuff last month, to kind of work my way into this year, like learning like the program I use for music, like more in depth. You know what I mean? Like things I've been saying I'm just going to do forever. I want to do them all this year because I always had some sort of, you know, excuse or something. Excuses, Mike, is in the past. You know, if I'm not going to do it, then I'm gonna give up. You know, then I'm not going to do it. Because I think there's this like I talked about this in the past too. This jack of all trades, Mike. One that's like, oh, I got all this stuff I want to do, but I don't want to focus on one of them. AKA, I don't want to focus and learn everything about one thing. I wanna try to dig deeper on those things. Mm-hmm. You know, and that could be one thing for this year, second thing for another year, and then we can you know, combine them maybe. You know, if I get to a certain point,
I love it.
I think that's possible. You know. I think that's cool. Those are my plans.
Where do you feel your heart moving to go to that one thing? If you have an answer, I don't know if you have an answer yet. You don't have to. I'm just wondering, do you have like is something whispering in your ear like, Mike, do this, Mike, follow this, Mike, learn more about this? Like, what would that thing be?
Music is 100% like I think my priority this year. I really want to. I have stuff. That's all I can say. I have stuff. Yeah. I have ideas. I have things that I want to get out there. Love it. There's that. I also have, I think second place is going to be possibly some more YouTube, like independent creating, like video, trying to mold that stuff into something, you know?
Right.
But at this point, I think music, really just learning how to get better at that and make things, just keep making stuff, you know, and elevating it.
I love it.
Not staying in this zone I was for years. You know what's so funny? I went back and this weekend, I went back and listened to the old stuff I used to make. And some of my favorite stuff was literally like maybe the second, third thing I made, fourth thing I made. And I'm like, dude, this sounds almost like I wouldn't even make it now, you know, but it sounds like really like the ideas. I'm like, dude, I was really like thinking, like I was really thinking like, dude, this is like, I want to do like, I can tell what I was trying to do. Yeah. I just wasn't experienced enough, but like the idea's there and the idea is cool, you know?
Whoa. What does that tell you?
I think that back then I probably had some sort of like just a bigger passion, you know? I was more passionate. Because that was like, I was like, dude, beat every night, you know? 5 beats for 6 summers. Oh, wait, I can't say that anymore. Well. That was Lil Wayne, right? Or
I don't know. I don't remember.
But yeah, I think more passionate back then.
Okay. So it's like the passion faded, and so the quality of like your creativity and like ideas, quality of the music faded.
I think back then it was more of I think now it's more of a mature. Like back then it was like the grind set. Like every day we put in this like 5 hours. I'm going in like on FL Studio, the cracked version that I stole offline, and I'm trying to like figure out like I'm like making like the sine waves and like making sounds. Yeah, I'm like YouTube downloading like samples.
Yeah, dude.
But now I feel like I have a matured workflow.
Right. Okay.
It's a little bit more maybe graceful.
Do you feel like you're going to be diving into researching music and like getting real like student of the game? Like what I was talking about with movies and feeling that passion again, like diving back into them.
I think honestly, I've always been super like inside music. Like So
you want to get away?
No. I think I want to listen maybe a little less.
Okay.
Just a little bit. And focus on like stuff that's like the more musical aspects of it's a weird thing, but like the aspects that make music, you know, the core like song structure and these kinds of things that make your favorite song your favorite song. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's music theory, it's called, right? Because I was learning about some of that. I think it was like from a documentary of some musician. He was talking about
it's the hardest thing I think to learn ever.
Man, it's crazy how like
it's up there with like doctor stuff. Like honestly,
the most popular songs, and you can deconstruct them to a tempo and a certain like rhythm, and it's almost like they align, like sped up or slow down. It's like
most pop songs that you hear on the radio are the same 4 chords.
Oh my god, it's unbelievable!
Just differently arranged, and that's it.
But we don't know, and we're just like,
And there's a whole like this is that chunk of the circle. There's all this that you could be making stuff with. You know,
that's so exciting to me to even think. Like, I'm not a musician, but I get excited thinking about creating like in that field. Like, just taking that, you know, finding out what works in a song, what the bones of a song are, and then like going out into the creative land and being like, oh, I'm going to bring back this element of a trumpet or some kind of horn and like rope that in with some fucking hi-hat or something. Like, I don't know. That's just cool to start. It's exciting to be like looking at a canvas, like a blank canvas. Dude, for me, like, I'm so excited about post, about getting this film like out there into the world. But, you know, for Wayward Kin, and that's exciting the hell out of me. And then also like learning about this voiceover stuff and like building like a little studio and like trying to develop some kind of avenue to learn and like grow maybe a career out of like narrating, because I love books. Reading, dude. And I'm like, if I could parlay with this, like if I could take acting and all the things I've learned for 13 years and like through my experience bring that to like a book, narrating a book. I don't know, man. That excites me, man. Not that I'm giving up acting, I'm giving up film, but like in the interim, like just to learn another thing. And it's not far away from the thing. It's the same vein, you know? Yeah. And it's just my voice. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, man. I'm actually really looking forward to that. And but also I'm excited to make another movie if I get the chance. And the cool thing is just following passion and trying to stay alive at the same time.
Yeah.
And I thought about this too. I'm looking to enhance my work. So I guess that's what voiceover stuff is. It's like not just survive, but like enjoy what I do while I live.
Yeah.
And fill the fridge, you know?
Yeah.
I want to try to marry those.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I forgot who I was talking to, man. No, I was talking to my cousin. And my cousin over Christmas, and he was telling me about I was telling him, I was like, he was asking about work. I was asking him about work stuff, and he's been at this company for a while, and he did like a coding boot camp and got a higher level in his company, and he's doing well, man. He's really good at putting in the work. Shout out for Rizzo. He puts in the work, and he has like a goal. He gets there. Like he learns, he has the plan, and he gets there. He's so good at like, I'm going to get here in a year. He does it in a year,
Wow.
Very disciplined, very like, he knows what he's doing. He's smart kid. Yeah. But I was telling him about like, my plans for the future and stuff. And I could just tell, like, after thinking about it now, the way I was talking to him about it was so like, damn, I'm like so not happy. Like not satisfied, and I was telling him like, I'm thinking about maybe going into like a film job thing, or sticking with what I'm doing right now for a little bit, and maybe moving up a little, and thinking about like maybe hanging up the passion stuff for like a year or two to pay off debts, and then I'll be debt free, but I go back to whatever and I can be happy then. And he's like, dude, honestly, he told me, he's like, just do what you love, honestly. Like, you don't even have to, you should focus on that. And I was like, to hear that from him, I'm like, oh, like, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing it. Because it's true, but in these times of like, it's that feeling, you feel like you don't know if what you're doing is right, if it's going to set you up for the right thing, but you should essentially want to do what you love, man. Yeah. And I think that's so true. And to hear from him, that's, you know what I mean? Like, he always tells me, he's like, I wish I had like a creative, like some sort of thing that like I'm super passionate about, because like a lot of people miss that, they don't have that. Yeah. And, I'm lucky enough to at least have that sort of thing. So I think I should keep searching. If you have that, keep searching for a way to make it your life and your livelihood.
Absolutely. It's so rare, Mike, that someone has a love for a thing that they love personally.
Dude, or really
just a love, something that they know they love.
Yeah.
And if you're one of the lucky ones that have found it, or life has shown you it early, or even in the middle of your life, like, I don't know, man, look at, you can make money doing anything, dog, in this world. You can make money doing a lot of things. A lot of people, I mean, if you took a survey, would be like, I don't want to go to work on Monday. I'm sure it'd be like over 50% of people. And it says a lot, dude. A lot of people haven't found that thing. And, I pray for them that they do. I pray for them that they do at some stage of their life to feel fulfilled when they wake up and excited to get out of bed, or at least excited at the prospect of like going to do the thing. And, I don't know, whatever it is for you, whatever it is, just the prospect of the thought of it is the thing that gets you out of bed. Because again, going back to that basement, Mike, maybe some people feel like there's no hope because they have nothing that they love, nothing that they excite them to do. But you do. Guess what? You do, Mike. Mm-hmm. So it's cool that Fabricio, your cousin who you love, can look at you and say, sure, I'm good at this stuff. And like, you look over here and you see on this side of the fence, the grass is greener, right? Like, I set these goals and I accomplish them, and I've been growing in that way and financially more secure. And it's beautiful. It's really, truly an awesome thing that you got to applaud. You got to look at and say, I do. I respect that, man. I respect that. Going to work, putting your head down, and getting better at your craft, and then just doing well, securing your life, getting things that make you happy and feel better, and being better at your job, like, and showing up, and being consistent. That's fucking awesome. But but he's telling you.
Yeah.
You found a thing, Mike, that it does something to your soul, bro. Your blood changes, man. When you hear a song, or you think of the construction of a new one you want to make, or the ideas you want to put out there, and no one can see it yet but you. So it's hard. No one can see the vision that you have, that you know is inside you. And sometimes you can't see it, and you get a little lost. But like, it's beautiful that you got a cousin who could look at you and say that.
Yeah, like, definitely.
Follow, you know? And take heed of what he's telling you.
Yeah. No, I definitely did.
Yeah.
That lodged in my heart. I can definitely say that.
Awesome.
Well, hey man, that's the podcast. Last thing I have for this upcoming year is I have a backlog of things. A backlog of books, movies, and games. And I want to read everything. I want to do everything. Like I've gotten so much stuff over the years that I just have that I haven't even like opened.
Yeah.
Like I got books up here that half of that, more than half, I didn't read.
Yeah.
So I want to just be able to, you know what? Just because you know what? I don't know what it is. I had such a hard time just being able to sit down and read a book. I think maybe that's just the way I am. But I recently read Berserk. It's like a Japanese manga. It's one of the greatest like stories that came from there online. And then it's like 350 like chapters and it's ongoing. And I read it all and I was like obsessed. Like I couldn't put it down. Yeah. And after reading that, I started reading books and I can read now. So that's great. I feel good now. So like I'm like, dude, I finally feel like I could sit down. I go to the cafe every like week on like a Thursday night, and I go sit and read like 50 pages, and and that's my thing. And it feels good. I'm the guy in the cafe now, and I read the book. I like it.
I love that. I love that.
And it just feels good, And I'm glad I can get to this place that I could just read. Like I'm thankful for it. So I'm gonna get my backlog cut down.
Love it. Love it. Cut it down, lumberjack.
Do you have a backlog of anything? Or do you like just, when you get something, you just finish it up?
No, I'm usually the guy that gets real excited about the book, and then I read it like halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through, even a quarter. And I'm like, well, too busy, or lost interest, or whatever, and I toss it to the side. But I think that's like a part of me that doesn't want things to end, like good things to end. So I like stop them before they're over.
Oh,
I love, but I hate when I'm at the end of a book and I'm crying, or I'm like, damn, beautiful, or whatever. But you can always go back into a book, I guess. So I got 2 of them right now that I'm reading that I want to finish. And I started really hot, and again I tapered out. So those 2 books I'm going to finish.
Dang.
Those 2.
Love it.
It's Steinbeck's In Dubious Battle and a man called Ove. I forgot who the author is. That's it.
You Are Here podcast, episode 206. We thank you. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Rate us on iTunes and Spotify. I don't know why I'm doing that. Shout out to the patrons. Patreon.com/You Are Here podcast. Best way to support us. Buy us a coffee. That's how you do it. Spread the holiday cheer, as it still is going on. Twitch.tv/You Are Here podcast. We're live. We're doing stuff. We're playing games. We're putting in the hours. We're affiliates, and it's a fun time. If you want to hang out, watch, have some dinner. Monday, Tuesdays, we're usually on. Boom, and drop a follow on that. Shout out to Anytime Actors Lab. Best way to learn acting, get back into it. They got online classes, in-person classes. Dallas, Fort Worth area. AnytimeActorsLab.com. My name is Mike. I love you all, and I'm signing out.
It's Dave. I love you all. Please be kind to yourselves and one another.